Good morning, Lisa Dublin here. This is day 30 of my 31-day challenge, my YouTube challenge. So we're almost there, you guys. It took almost like an entire month and a half to do this, but we're almost there. And so join me for these last 2 days as we just talk about things that just came to me. It just came to me. That's what I call this session. I'm going to do what I didn't do yesterday, which was I wanted to read a little bit from I wanted to read a little bit from the book Think and Grow Rich. Do you know that book? I know I always talk about it because it's been so seminal to my growth. And along with the Bible, along with another book called The Fourth Dimension, and I think How to Win Friends and Influence People, I believe, and also the 95 Millionaire book. These are those seminal books that I always return to again and again. So I thought today you and I would do a bit of reading because if you are feeling discouraged and maybe you're at your ropes and you're not sure what next to do, can I say to you, let's dig a little deeper, regroup, like recalibrate and go back out again because it's not over until it's over. Where there's a will, there definitely is a way. Sometimes what I've found even in my own life, the thing that keeps us from actually achieving something is the thought that I can't do it. The thought that it's going to be difficult, there's no hope. When you have no hope, you don't act. There goes Set, say hi, say hello. Paul, Paul, Paul. Oh, there goes he puts up his paws, right? Say hi to the people. All right, sit. All right, behave yourself now. He was outside barking a whole lot, and I was a couple minutes late because I had to go let him in. Anyway, so let's go, you guys. Okay, stop it. Stop. Sit now. Sit. I said sit. Sit down. Sit. Behave yourself. Stop. What's wrong with you then? Why are you moaning? What happened to you? Okay, we'll look at that after. Okay. So I was saying that sometimes what happens is we lose hope. When you lose hope, you don't take action. There's a coaching model that I use all the time with my clients and with my own self. And the model goes like this: it's not the circumstance that's the problem, it's what you're thinking about the circumstance. So let's say, for example, maybe you are going through a very bad breakup and your thought about the breakup is, I am no good. It's because of me this has happened. You're thinking that's the thought. The circumstance is the breakup. The thought is, I am no good. I'm broken. I will never attract a good person to me. What other thought could you be thinking? It's because of me that this happened. I'm always the common denominator. That thought is going to make you feel very bitter, going to make you feel hopeless, going to make you feel worthless. When you feel worthless, what happens is you're going to act from worthless. You're going to perhaps be the person who's on the rebound, sleeping around with everybody because one person broke your heart, for example. Also, because you feel worthless, then you treat other people badly because you're like, I'm not worth it anyway, so I can treat you any way that I want. Because you are going to take those kinds of actions, what's going to happen is that you are going to go deeper and deeper into a lack of self worth. You are going to get back what you give to people. Hurt people, hurt people. And then when you start to do that, what you are going to have broken relationships. You're going to be more unattractive, thereby perpetuating and proving the first thought in the first place that you are not worth it, you are worthless, you don't have anything going for you. Do you see how it goes? However, you take that same circumstance of the breakup, and your thoughts about it could be the following: I'm happy it happens now before we get married and I marry the wrong person. So I'm happy that this is occurring to me right now. Number two, you can think, you know what? If this is not the right person, I don't want to be that person. I am making room in my life for the right person to come along. What about that thought? See, the third thought that you can think is, you know what? If this was not it, I am just looking forward to who it will be because it's going to be great. I used to think that one a lot. That last one, that got me through some really bad breakups, some bad relationships. Just the thought that, if this is not it, can you just imagine what I'm going to end up with or who I'm going to end up with? Because, yes, this one was great, but obviously this is not it. I can only go higher. Those thoughts, Those thoughts of the same breakup will make me feel hopeful, worthy, valuable, optimistic. I know some of these words almost mean the same thing, but you get the picture. It's a different feeling when you think a different thought. And from feeling hopeful, from feeling valuable, then the actions that I will take will be the following. I will forgive you because I want to move on. I'm going to hold you on my chest. No, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. I'm going to, just forgive you, make room in my life for the next person and start to look for where this next person is going to be. I'm going to keep up with myself and my self-care, make myself look attractive because you know what? I am all that. I know that because I believe it in myself that one breakup did not mean that I had something missing, something broken within me. That action of feeling attractive and worthy, pardon me, and forgiving people, that action is definitely going to attract people to me once again. So, what am I saying, listeners? I'm saying that your thoughts will determine your feelings, which will determine your actions, and will determine your results. Anywhere you are not getting results, go back and see what your thoughts are. Check your thoughts. Okay. So, I hope that made sense to you. I hope the example made sense to you. So, let me just drink this a little bit. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my goodness, here I am back on coffee, but that's okay. Don't tell my coach. All right, so if you're watching me right now, a couple things, a couple QR codes for you to scan. First of all, subscribe to Basement Chronicles right here. Have you liked? Have you subscribed? Have you shared? It doesn't take anything from you to do that. It really doesn't. So I'd like you to like, subscribe, and share this live. It's the one before the last. For some time, I'm gonna figure out what I'm going to do after that, right? And then also, I have this free download that I'd like if you are wanting to see whether, there's speaking as a career. There are different kinds of speaking. And in this PDF, or it's actually a type form. So it's something to fill out. You do a little quiz, not very long, and you get results right away. So you can scan that QR code. Could speaking be your career path? Take that test, you guys. It is going to help you. It is going to help you to be the person, like to have another stream of income, to make a difference as a speaker, because there is room to do that. Not just doing keynotes, standing on stage and giving a speech. Public speaking, speaking as a career, could also be the person who goes around doing workshops and facilitations on anything under the sun. Yesterday, we looked at what is easy for you and difficult for other people. Once you discover what that is, you can turn it into a workshop. I have some of my speakers now who are doing bullying workshops because it's a spin-off from positive parenting. They are going with what the market is demanding of them, and they're forming bullying workshops. So you can do the same thing, whatever your area of expertise and experience is. So take that test, okay? Take that test. All right. So, today we want to look at desire, and for whatever you want to do in life, sometimes we lose desire. Talking of desire, yesterday I attended the launch of a black economy app. So, right, black business app here in Edmonton, Alberta, and these people, I've had Levar on the podcast before, on the live stream on a Sunday. And this guy is such a visionary. He and his team, like his basic premise is that the Black community in any society needs to come together economically. That is one of the ways for us to get things right and to do the right things and to prosper and move ahead if we have economic power. And so there's a book called Powernomics that he always encourages everybody to read. I've started reading it myself. Based on that thesis of that way of looking at the world, Levar, who very visionary, he came up with this whole society, this whole concept of let us gather around commerce, e-commerce. Let us gather around community, around supporting each other's businesses, around giving each other that boost with testimonials and trying out each other's things so that we can grow as a society. And so yesterday he launched the Nod app. I was there, and there was so many black people there, like so many people here in Edmonton. And it's such a difference. Like when my uncle came here in 1975, he said that it was Bush. He said like he was like you could count the number of black people in the place. He was one of the few ones who came here, and you could just count the number of black people. And now the numbers are definitely increasing they're increasing exponentially, not just in Edmonton, but in other parts of Alberta. There are pockets of black people as well. So this app, we're meant to gather around this app, and let's say it's going to spread from Edmonton to other cities, etc. So if you're looking, let's say you want to land in a city and you want to know where to get jerk chicken, for example, if you access the Nod app, you then will be able to see in that area where are the black businesses that you can go to and patronize. That's the whole point of the app. It's really, really good. Like so far, it's looking good. I'm going to get in there and register my own business, my speaking services, training services, that kind of thing. So, to help just to be part of the community. And lo and behold, I met my cousin there last night. So funny. I met my cousin there last night. He's like, "You part of this?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." So that was good. But let's go to this, what I call a 50-cent lesson in persistence today. And this is from Think and Grow Rich. I think this is, hang on, I'll tell you what chapter it is. This is the second chapter, a 50-cent lesson in persistence. Okay. So the story is told of this guy, Mr. Darby, who in a previous life, he had stopped 10 feet from gold. So he and his partner, they were digging for gold, I believe, and it got very hard, and they stopped and they gave people back their money. They went bust, they went broke, only to discover a couple years later, to the people they sold their equipment and so on, those people regrouped, saw what they had to do, and guess what they did. What they did was they continued going in a certain direction, and they struck gold. And because of that, Mr. Darby said that he said no, he's never going to accept no from life anymore, because he had that first experience of, striking out just a couple feet from goal. I think it was, how long was it before? Like, so just 3 feet from where the Derbies had stopped drilling, they found the gold. So 3 feet from gold. So because of that experience, this is the next lesson. Are you ready? I'm going to read from the book. If you see me looking to that side, it's because I'm reading from my Kindle and on another screen. Shortly after, Mr. Darby received his degree from the University of Hard Knocks. Let me remove that on the screen. Give me a second. Let's remove that now. Hang on. Let me take it out. Okay, let's go. Shortly after he received his degree from the University of Hard Knocks and had decided to profit by his experience in the gold mining business, he had the good fortune to be present on an occasion that proved to him that no does not necessarily mean no. One afternoon, he was helping his uncle grind wheat in an old fashioned mill. The uncle operated a large farm on which a number of colored sharecrop farmers lived. Quietly, the door opened, and a small colored child, the daughter of a tenant, walked in and took her place near the door. The uncle looked up, saw the child, and barked at her roughly. "What do you want?" Meekly, the child replied, "My mammy says send her 50 cents. "I'll not do it," the uncle retorted. "Now you run on home." "Yes, sir," the child replied, but she did not move. The uncle went ahead with his work, so busily engaged that he did not pay enough attention to the child to observe that she did not leave. When he looked up and saw her still standing there, he yelled at her, "I told you to go on home. Now go, or I will take a switch to you." The little girl said, "Yes, sir," but she did not budge an inch. The uncle dropped a sack of grain he was about to pour into the mill hopper, picked up a barrel stave, and started toward the child with an expression on his face that indicated trouble. Darby held his breath. He was certain he was about to witness a murder. He knew his uncle had a fierce temper. He knew that colored children were not supposed to defy white people in that part of the country. When the uncle reached the spot where the child was standing, she quickly stepped forward one step, looked up into his eyes, and screamed at the top of her shrill voice, "My mommy's got to have that 50 cents." The uncle stopped, looked at her for a minute, then slowly laid the barrel stave on the floor, put his hand in his pocket, took out half a dollar, and gave it to her. The child took the money and slowly backed toward the door, never taking her eyes off the man whom she had just conquered. And after she had gone, the uncle sat down on a box and looked out the window into a space for more than 10 minutes. He was pondering with awe over the whipping he had just taken. Mr. Darby, too, was doing some thinking. That was the first time in all his experience that he had seen a colored child deliberately master an adult white person. How did she do it? What happened to his uncle that caused him to lose his fierceness and to become as docile as a lamb? These and other similar questions flashed into Darby's mind, but he did not find the answer until years later when he told me the story. Strangely, the story of this unusual experience was told to the author in the old mill on the very spot where the uncle took his whipping. Strangely, too, I had devoted nearly a quarter of a century to the study of the power which enabled an ignorant, illiterate colored child to conquer an intelligent man. As we stood there in that musty old mill, Mr. Darby repeated the story of the unusual conquest and finished by saying, "What can you make of it? What strange power did that child use that so completely whipped my uncle?" The answer to his question will be found in the principles in this book. The answer is full and complete. Hang on, let me just go, right? Okay. So every time a prospect, again, basically, where is the part where um, he says that it is persistence that actually got the child the money. And then there is that um, push and the ask to be persistent, to whatever you want to do, find a way, don't give up. If you have to regroup, do that, but don't give up, right? And then they go on to talk about, ooh, geez. I'm looking for the part where I've highlighted these things so much, right? That I don't even know. I've highlighted these things so much that I don't even know where to find what now because I just instinctively know it. It is desire and persistence that they're talking about. The fact that the child, what I want to note here is when he was telling the story, it's the way he spoke about how the child spoke about, my mommy's got to have it. Like, what do you feel about what in life makes you yell into the universe, something like that? I've got to have this. Do you feel that way about anything whatsoever? I've got to have it. This, I have to do it. You mean to tell me this cannot happen? There has to come the point where you have the red hot desire. And that is what got this child what she wanted in spite of the threat of the switch. She stood her ground and she's like, I've got to have it. And that determination and persistence in life, it makes doors open for you when you stand your ground. Think of the people who have achieved great things in life. There's a story in there, that book as well, of Henry Ford. When he was making that very first car, the Model T, and he said he wanted like a seamless engine. And he sent his people back again and again to make it. And they kept on saying it was fruitless. We can't get. He said, go back again. And of course, he was known for being very pig-headed, this guy. But at the end of persisting and saying there must be a way, there must be a way, there must be a way, this guy, he finds a way, and the Model T engine, the Model T Ford is born. That comes from persistence. Persistence is not loud. It's very quiet. It has to be, because if you just expose things to people without having any depth, the wind of doubt is just simply going to sweep away your plans and your dreams. When I think of persistence, what I think of, and excuse my context of being in my basement, this is where all the action happens. For me, it comes from when I come against a roadblock in life. I will do a couple things. I will pray. I will humbly ask God for what I want. And then the physical things I will do, literally like walk my basement, being like, you mean to tell me this is not possible? You mean to tell me I can't have this? How can I have this? How can I make this better? You mean what are the ways that I can make this happen? And I'll spend a couple days ruminating, marinating on that reality. Like, how can I make this happen for me? How can this become my reality when it isn't right now? And from that determination to find a way, usually I find a way. Most times you don't take action because you're not persistent. You're not persistent because you don't think you'll have success. And it creates that self defeating loop. I don't take action because I'm not persistent. I'm not persistent because I'm not taking action. I don't see results because I'm not taking action. I'm not taking action because I don't see the results. You see how it works? Get on a path. Decide what you're going to do. I put up this phrase yesterday. You guys remember this? Let me put it up again. Remember this? What do you want to sink your teeth into for the rest of your life? Sit, deciding on that starts an arduous process of creating something from nothing. It starts a process of deciding this is what it's going to be. What keeps me going right now is what the end result is going to be. When I think of, and I do a lot of envisioning on the treadmill when I do walking on the treadmill, not running like you're in a tizzy, like and when I'm walking on the treadmill, I'm imagining life at the level that I want it. I'm looking towards the future. I'm looking towards the end goal and deciding how I'm going to get there from the end towards the end because it's possible. You know why? Because number one, I've got faith. The Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence is the vision, the evidence of things not yet seen. It says those who believe to God come to God must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. That is Hebrews 11 to 2, or verse 1, something like that. Go check it out. That's what faith is. So once you're clear, what you commune with God. Lord, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? And you've got to believe. You've got to dig deep. You've got to have a faith that is unshakable and is unpenetrable to the winds of doubt, the winds of other people's words, the winds of even the circumstance that you are in that dictate maybe or militate against the dream. You've got to push back against it. You desire does that. What would make that child stay there in the face and the threat of getting the switch to say, my mommy's got to have that 50 cents? Every time I get discouraged, I go back to that story because what I want to point to is the emotion and oh Jesus, what, give me the right word. I need the right word to describe. It is the intensity of how much she wanted this 50 cents. That's what I mean to say. You have to intensely want things, intensely go after it. You have to intensely see yourself in a certain way, doing a certain thing, and let nothing stand in the way. I believe that intensity of desire, that red hot desire, it brings clarity. It makes the things that you don't feel as intensely fall off and makes it very clear where your intention, your focus, your desire, your end goal should and it should be and where it is. So I want to encourage you today, whatever you do, whether you're going on your way to work, listening to this, whether this is on your commute back, you're taking it in. I want to encourage you to just have red hot desire for something. Don't let anything stand in the way. Go after it with everything you've got. Put on blinders, see the end goal, and most likely you will find a way to work backwards from the end towards the end. That's how life works. All right, you guys. So I'm going to end early today. We're going to end at 25 minutes. Listen, I'm having a free seminar on the 29th of June. I'd love you to come. I'm going to put the link. Let me see if I can put the link right here. But you need to attend because I'll tell you the 5 powerful steps I have taken to become a paid speaker and encourage you to do the same because it actually works, right? It actually works. So let me just put that link If you are interested in becoming a paid speaker, this is not for everybody, but this is for somebody. I know it is. This is not for everybody, but this is for somebody. So here's the link to sign up for this free webinar I'll be hosting on Sunday at 4 p.m. So please, go through it and sign up. It's free. And then you and I can, just chop it up. I'll give you my 5 powerful steps to become a paid speaker. All right, everybody. I'll see you in the next. I'll see you tomorrow. The last day of the 31-day challenge will be tomorrow. So join me as we absolutely end this and decide on what's next. I want to keep on going live. That has always worked for me. And I hope to see you on Sunday. Bye, everybody. Take care.